Welcome to Learnersmate. In this video we are going to discuss the rise of Matharas rule in ancient Odisha as well as their significance. So, let's learn. The outcome of Samudragupta's campaign of South India were noteworthy. The kingdoms of Kosala, Kantara and Kalinga region could not raise their heads from the blow. On the other hand, it gave way for the rise of petty kingdoms on the map of Odisha in the middle of 4th century AD. Some of them had survived for 150 years, whereas some others just appeared and then disappeared in a short time. The Matharas. The history of Kalinga region underwent great change about the middle of the 4th century AD. The political situation of the period contributed to the rise of a new ruling dynasty named Mathara. In ancient time, the Mathara family enjoyed high political and social status and had matrimonial relations with several powerful ruling families of Kosala and South India. The Mathara Rulers. The Vishakha Varman. Around the middle of the 4th century, Vishakha Varman of the Mathara family established a small principality in Kalinga region, with its headquarters at Sripura, which is now known as Batia Sripur in Ganjam district. Vishakha Varman took the title Shri Maharaja and began his political career as the humble ruler of a petty territory. His domain was subdivided into several panchalis, one of which was named Karosodka. Vishakha Varman is known to have donated the village Tapoyoka in that Panchali to 5 Brahmanas in the 7th year of his reign. According to the early Ganga kings' records, the Karsodka Panchali was included in the Kalinga territory. However, Vishakha Varman never assumed the title Lord of Kalinga. There is no record of Vishakha Varman after his 7th regnal year. He appears to have founded the new kingdom for his family in the latter part of his life and ruled for approximately a decade between 350 and 360 CE. The Varman. Varman, who was most likely his son, succeeded Maharaja Vishakha Varman. Varman began his career, like his father, as a modest ruler with Sripura as the capital of his small principality. However, he was an ambitious ruler who took advantage of the political changes of the time to expand his territory and power at the expense of neighboring territories. By the 6th year of his reign, he had expanded his kingdom to the Svetka region, modern Chikiti, and established a new capital at Sunagra. From this headquarters, King Varman issued 2 of his copper plate grants, the Baranga grant and the Dhavlapeta grant, donating the lands to the Brahmins. By the 9th year of his reign, his territory had expanded to the south, encompassing the modern Tekkali region. He relocated his headquarters from Sunagra to Vardhamanpur, from which he issued the grant for the Tekkali copper plate. Thus, Varman steadily expanded his territory, and by his 31st regnal year, his domain included the present Srikakulam district. He then proclaimed himself Lord of Kalinga and relocated his capital from Vardhamanpura to Sinhapura. It was from this new headquarters, which he named Vijayasinghapura, that he issued his Vrihat Proshtha grant, in which he declared himself the Lord of Kalinga. The territory of Kalinga had remained in obscurity following the Chedi call in the 1st century CE, and its historical tradition was revived at the end of the 4th century CE by Maharaja Varman. Thus, Varman was the Mathara dynasty's first great ruler, and with him, Kalinga embarked on a long and illustrious political career, whose influence was felt throughout eastern India and the Deccan. Maharaja Varman reigned for approximately 35 years, and was Sankar Varman succeeded him in approximately 395 CE. The Sankar Varman. Sankar Varman was almost certainly a brother of Varman, and his reign appears to have been brief. As of yet, No copper plate grant issued by him has been discovered. According to his son's records, Maharaja Sankar Varman married into the Vasishtha family, which ruled the Devrastra region following Samudragupta's South Indian campaign. This matrimonial relationship laid the groundwork for the Mathara kingdom's expansion into the Middle Kalinga region. Around 400 CE, Maharaja Sankar Varman died, and his son Maharaja Sakti-Varman succeeded him. The Maharaja Sakti-Varman. Maharaja Sakti-Varman was a ruthless and ambitious ruler who succeeded in uniting northern and southern Kalinga. Sakti-Varman's occupation of South Kalinga must have been greatly aided by the Vasishthas of the Middle Kalinga region with whom the Matharas had matrimonial relations. South Kalinga's occupation heralds the end of the Salankayana dynasty in Vengi. According to the Ningondi grant of King Prabhanjanavarman, Sakti-Varman, the son of Sankara-Varman, extended his territory from the Mahandi to the Krishna and ruled the vast empire according to ancient laws. At the expense of the Salankayanas, the Mathara kingdom expanded up to Krishna. By that time, the Pallavas, the Salankayanas' allies, were also in decline. Sakti-Varman almost certainly defeated the combined forces of the Salankayanas and Pallavas in order to extend his territory all the way to the banks of the Krishna. Thus, Sakti-Varman built a strong empire on Uma-Varman's foundations and enhanced the Matharas' prestige and power. By the time of Sakti-Varman, three imperial powers dominated India's political landscape: the Matharas in the south, the Guptas in the north, and the Vaktakas in central India. Maharaja Sakti-Varman relocated his capital from Singhapura to Pishtapura before issuing his Ragolu copper plate grant from his new capital. This indicates that he conquered the southern region prior to his 13th regnal year and maintained the empire's integrity throughout his reign. Maharaja Sakti-Varman died in approximately 420 CE, and his son Anantasakti-varman succeeded him. The Anantasakti-varman. By that time, South India's political history had shifted dramatically, owing to the rise of the Vishnukundin dynasty. The founder of this dynasty, Madhvavarman, was a powerful and ambitious ruler who was almost certainly a contemporary of Anantasakti-Varman. The Ipuru plates of Madhvavarman reveal that he engaged in successful battles with his neighbors and sacrificed 11 horses in addition to thousands of other animals. The Vishnukundins had to fight the Pallavas in the south and the Matharas in the north for their rise and stability. King Madhvavarman fought and defeated the Mathara king Anantasakti-varman and the Pallava king Sinhavarman too. He occupied the southern regions of the Mathara kingdom, including South Kalinga, after defeating Anantasakti-Varman. In his 14th regnal year, Anantasakti-Varman issued his Andhavarman grant from the military camp at Vijayapura. His wars with the Vishnukundins appear to have continued at the time of this grant's issuance, and he was almost certainly forced to flee Pishtapura by that time. His Sakunaka grant, issued in his 28th regnal year, was carried out by two of his senior military officers, Commander-in-Chief, Mahabaladhikrita, Sivabhojka, and General, Dandaryeta, Vasudatta. This demonstrates that the military exercised an unusual amount of control over civil administration during his reign. Anantasakti-Varman was incapable of preserving the empire he inherited from his father. He was forced to relocate his headquarters from Pishtapura to Sinhapura following the loss of South Kalinga and attempted to consolidate his position in northern and middle Kalinga. He died in approximately 450 CE and was succeeded by Chandravarman, most likely his son. The Maharaja Chandravarman. Maharaja Chandravarman is best known for granting the Bobbi and Komarti copper plate grants in his 4th and 6th regnal years, respectively. his two grants reveal no evidence of this ruler's political activity. He was known by the epithets Paramabhagavata and Paramadevta and ruled from Sinhapura as his capital. Chandravarman most likely died before 460 CE, when he was succeeded by Prabhanjanavarman, another of Sakti-Varman's sons. The Prabhanjanavarman. It appears as though there was a schism between Sakti-Varman's two sons, Anantasakti-varman and Prabhanjanavarman, following his death. This internal conflict contributed to the Mathara dynasty's demise. The Matharas' defeat at the height of their power by newly organized Vishnukundins was almost certainly due to internal strife. It is worth noting that Maharaja Prabhanjanavarman ignores Anantasakti-varman and Chandravarman in the Nirgondi grant, declaring himself the direct successor of Sakti-Varman, the son of Sankar Varman. This demonstrates the schism between the Anantasakti-varman and Prabhanjanavarman houses. The Mathara power was unable to recoup their lost prestige and territory, and they began a steady decline. Without a doubt, King Prabhanjanavarman attempted to reclaim South Kalinga and took the title Sakla Kalingadhipti. This epithet was not used by previous Mathara rulers and denotes his brief victory over Vishnukundins. He died around the year 480 CE. The Nandapravanjanaverman. Prabhanjanavarman was succeeded by Nandapravanjanaverman. However, his relationship with the latter is unknown. He was the final Mathara king, and during his reign, the Matharas' political status reverted to that of Vishakha Varman and the early years of King Umavarman. King Nandapravanjanavarman established Vardhamanapura as his capital, which had previously been the capital of King Umavarman in his 9th regnal year. Despite his political decline, Prabhanjanavarman retained the title Sakla Kalingadhipati, which his successor Nandapravanjanavarman assumed. Towards the end of his reign, the eastern Gangas established themselves in Trikalinga territory and expanded their control over the Kalinga region. Dantapura, the renowned city of Kalinga, was declared the eastern Ganga's capital. The Ganga era, which began in 498 AD, heralded a period of political transition marked by the ascension of the eastern Gangas and the fall of the Matharas. Significance of Matharas. The Matharas ruled for 150 years. Politically autonomous from Gupta suzerainty, the Mathara monarchs referred to themselves as Maharajas and Lords of Kalinga, Kalingadhipati. Their rule established a functional administrative structure in the Kalinga region. They divided their kingdom into Panchali, Bhoga, and Vishava territorial units. Their inscriptions include references to Mahedra Bhoga, Dantevagu Bhoga, Bhilinga Bhoga, Vishaya, Kalinga Vishaya, and Varhavartini Vishaya. The smallest territorial unit was the village. The Mathara king was aided by a number of civil and military officials, including Amatya, minister, Kumara Amatya, minister of royal blood, Kalavra, revenue official, Ueshaksapatla, record keeper, Mahapratihara, chamberlain, Agya Bhogika, messenger, Dutta, spy, Mahavla Dhikrita, head of the army, Mahadanda Nayak, commander of a group. Culturally, the Matharas followed the prevalent trend in North India at the time. In Odisha during the Mathara period, such Brahmanical cults as Bhagavata and Saiva developed. The Matharas fostered an interest in Sanskrit literature. Pre-Mathara Odisha was dominated by non-Brahmanical religions such as Jainism and Buddhism. However, during the Mathara period, the Brahmanical religion gradually gained prominence. During this time period, the people of Kalinga engaged in maritime trade with countries in Southeast Asia. Dantapur, modern Palur, the great city port, was located within Matharas's territory. So, this is the end of this video. If you enjoyed it as much as I did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. To get the note of this video, scan the above QR code or check description to get the link. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day.